Hello gamers, Pet here, welcome to a first look, or maybe a review for Kingdom Rush Frontiers Steam Edition. Yes, Kingdom Rush Frontiers finally came out to Steam after something like 3 years since the original Kingdom Rush Frontiers came out on iPad. And I actually reviewed this game on iPad 3 years ago, actually. So that's why it's kind of like, I don't know, review first look. I basically just want to show you the game and show you how this game plays on PC. Good thing is that this is like a proper PC version. One small problem, I don't know, people don't really care about this. I mean, the full screen works, you know, the game, it supports even 16 by 10 resolutions, which is great because it's the monitor that I'm having and some games don't support that, but it doesn't have like a proper full screen, so like your Nvidia Shadow Play doesn't activate. I mean, it doesn't matter, but that's, if you are really nitpicking stuff about that, that's one thing that you don't have. But besides that, it's actually great. And something that it really bothered me about the first Kingdom Rush was the artwork of the loading screens. I mean, you could clearly see that it was made by like another artist and not the artist that's doing the inside graphics, right? It was really in a different style. But this one is, I'm not sure if it's the same artist, but at least it's made in the same style, so it doesn't disconnect you. I know it's like a small detail, but Kingdom Rush is like a classic tower defense game where, you know, it's a classic tower defense game. It doesn't innovate in like some weird games like other tower defense games. So one of the reasons why I think this game was successful was the graphics, the theme, and how the little details that they put into the game. And I know, I think at least that's what I like. I mean, in a way, I don't like tower defense games that much because they are games where you just watch. I mean, you do your stuff and then you click play and then you watch. And you watch for so long that some games actually have like a speed button. I mean, you know that you have a problem with your game when you are putting, you know, you're putting time frames to move the game faster. I mean, I know that other games have them and they are vital to other games, but in a game like this, in a tower defense game like this, where you just let people watch too much, then that's a problem, right? So this game doesn't have the, you know, speed of time button, but that's okay because you don't really have that much time to speed the game, because the way the levels were designed and the way the levels were balanced out, it's actually, you don't really feel the need to do this. You always have a struggle like, more stuff coming, the waves are coming pretty fast, so you need to prepare for the next one. You also have the spells and you also have the hero and so on. So anyway, let me show you Kingdom Rush Frontiers. So this is how much I've played so far. On the iPad, I think I finished, or I'm kind of like at the end. And look how beautiful this whole map looks. So beautiful, simply amazing. I would love to have this map in like a huge poster and hang it to my wall. So something that I also like about this map is that you can see the whole map, but you don't know exactly what are the spots where you are going to stop. So, you know, for a child, for a kid who's going to look at this map, he might be like, "Oh, I'm wondering what's happening here. Oh, I'm wondering what's happening here. Am I going to get to that place? Oh, it is like a weird mountain. What's going to happen there?" So it's kind of that you see it, but you don't know exactly where you are going to step into, right? Now, Kingdom Rush is basically, as I've said, like a classic tower defense game where you have various map layouts, like you can see it here. You have like the story for the campaign, and then you have 3 types of, you know, playing this map. First is the campaign, which is the classic map. Then you have the heroic, where you basically have some challenge rules, like you can't use heroes and the maximum upgrade level is 2. And this is the island level where you and also on heroic you only get 1 life, right? And on iron mode is like an unlimited waves that's coming for, I don't know, a couple of minutes. So it's not like infinite wave, it's just a wave that never stops, right? And you can only use those towers and with those challenge limitations too, right? So this is like a map. Let's actually start with the normal one, with a, you know, more of a normal map, and then we will go into some various other maps. Because what I want to show you is a couple of something that's really making this game great. So hey, new towers unlocked, and this is another thing that I want to mention. You know how some games feel that basically they are only tutorials. The whole game is like a tutorial because various elements of the game, you know, various game mechanics are being gradually added to the game, so you won't feel overwhelmed with a lot of options, right? Same thing happens here. At first you only have the archery tower, and then you get the barracks, and then you get level 2 for the archery towers, and then you get, and so on. Some people do the same thing, but then when you finally get everything, the game is done, so you feel that the whole game was basically a tutorial. In a way, here you don't really have this this problem, because on the first, I don't know, 6 levels, everything is getting unlocked, and then you can just play with everything. Now look how good the map is looking, basically, and they have a lot of small details, small elements, some small pop culture elements, and poof. You have like a lot of stuff like this, and there are actually achievements with various stuff, and it, you know, it's making the game more interesting, more how to put it, more flavor, right? You have a lot of flavor in a simple tower defense game. I'm not saying that it's simple, but you know, the mechanics of a tower defense are limited in a way, right? So these are the spots where you can construct, and as I've said, you have 4 type of towers. You have the archery tower, you have the barracks, you have the mage tower, and then you have this dwarven bombardment, which is basically an AoE. So let's go over each of them. So this is the archery tower. You know, it shoots fast in general, and it's basically arrows. This is the AoE tower. This is the mage tower, which is basically doing a different kind of damage, and that is important. I will show you later. And these are the barracks, Barack Obama, the barracks where those guys will pop out, and they are basically some kind of tanks in a way, not tanks, but basically those guys are going to keep the enemy wave busy, right? And the enemy wave will stop and fight with these guys while your towers are shooting at the guys that are stopping there. So basically they are some kind of stoppers. What's cool about them is that they actually have health, and they die, and then it's going to take some time to respawn, for them to respawn, and then your wave will actually go later. And also they can only hold 1 guy at the time. So if I have 4 guys that are going to come, 3 of the enemies are going to stop, but 1 is going to get away. And that's very important, because there are a type of waves that are basically some dogs that are very fast, and their purpose is to just run out of everything, right? And as I've said, those towers can be upgraded, and they can be upgraded at a level the level 4 is different, and I will show you that later when I go and look at the manual, right? So these are where the waves are going to come, and you can actually see what's going to come. Hey, I have 10 desert tugs, and I have Dune Raider 2 Sandhound, and this desert tug, desert. Besides that, you also have those 2 spells. One is like a fire spell that's coming from above, like a meteor shower, which is dealing a lot of damage. And then you also have this those reinforcements, basically, which you are calling like 2 guys to keep busy, and those guys are actually upgraded to the maximum level, which is why they are also shooting with bows, and I will show you that later. Now if you click an enemy, you can see that he has like a health and a damage, which this guy is dealing damage between 2 and 6, and the armor is none. And this is how much damage I will receive is if one of those pass 1 damage, right? And this is the total number of health that I have. This is the goal, and this is the wave 2 out of 14. As you can see, those dogs are actually going away. So if I'm putting 2 guys, you see those are going to keep them busy, and so on. So let's actually go to I haven't talked about the hero, so let's actually start with the heroes. You actually have various heroes that you can play, and you start with this guy, and he has his own stats. Medium armor, this is the damage, this is how fast he shoots, she's like an assassin, actually. It says right there. This guy is a champion, this guy is a corsair, and he has a parrot. And they actually have various abilities, right? And you can actually customize the hero to the style of the style of play you want to make, but at the same time you're also going to change depending on how the level is being played. You might play it once and then you see, okay, this is not working what I'm doing right now, so let's try something different. So you can actually reset the points, you get the points back, and then you can actually put more points and so on. And it doesn't cost you anything to reset, which is actually great because you are encouraged to try different things, right? You also have Cronan, Nivus, Deirdre, Priestess, Growl, Shachtra, and Ashbite. And those guys, this guy unlocks a stage 15 and so on. So anyway, this is a kind of a nice element. You will also need to micro this guy because the hero will fight with the enemy, but he himself will take damage and he might die. And for a couple of good seconds, something like 30 seconds, you won't have him on the field, which means a lot of trouble, right? But also, the more damage he does, the more he will level up, and that's how you actually get points for him. You also have this upgrade system. So let me explain. You see, it's costing me stars. See those stars? I completed this level, I got 3 stars. I completed this level, I got 3 stars. And the better you do the level, the more stars you will get, to a maximum of 3, of course. Like, for example, I have 20 life. If I'm losing 2 and I'm at 18, I will still get 3 stars. If I'm somehow getting at 17, I think 17, I think it's just 2 stars, you know. Also, if you complete those challenges, Heroic will give you 1 more star, and the Iron Challenge will give you 1 more star. So, in a way, you are encouraged to play those early levels on, to play the Iron Challenge and the Heroics, just so you can get those stars. And it's making you pull out more of this game, you know, try more things of this game. It's not like hey, I just finished everything and I'm like, I don't care about the rest. You actually want to try better because you also get the stars, but it's also because the challenge is pretty nice. So those upgrades are, you know, upgrades to your towers basically, and then to your spell. And you see, I upgraded my reinforcements to the maximum, and those reinforcements guys are pretty well right now because they get more, they have more health and more damage, they have more armor, they have more greater weapons, and they have dual wield, and then they also can shoot bows, which is great because they engage the enemy before they arrive. So sometimes you can put them a little bit back and then they won't receive damage because they are not in the fight. Your barracks guy will receive the damage, or your hero, whoever is tanking, right? And it's nice because, you know, I played it like this sometimes, but then I have a friend who also loved this game, and he's not a gamer. He was like, no, you need to put more on that level. You need to put more points into this the meteor shower spell, because and then you put this, and it's actually creating like a lot of choices for a simple tower defense game, right? And this is basically the Encyclopedia, and you can see the towers that are here, and these are the enemies that so far I have encountered. And as you can see, there are going to be a lot of enemies. These are the basic desert thugs. This is the health, this is the armor, the magic armor, the speed, and the life that you are going to lose. Look, this scorpion is pretty strong. He has a high armor, meaning that those scorpions will receive less damage from the archery towers. So that's why you need to put mage towers on key points, right? But if one of those guys is going to pass, I'm going to lose 2 lives, and it's also having a poisonous attack. This guy will return as felon. You kill them and there will be like some kind of mummy that will still continue to go. Those dune terrors will actually be underground, and they will only pop up when they will actually encounter, you know, like a fighter like this that will engage them. Otherwise they will simply just go and your towers will not shoot them. This guy is actually summoning mummies like this, so you want to take this guy out faster. Maybe call in some reinforcement in him so they can damage him and so on. There are a lot of things that you can do. And you also have a lot of achievements, and I mean a lot of achievements. And you know, some achievements are like kill 500 enemies. There are also like kind of hidden achievements that are, you know, a little bit map related. So let's actually pop in on this map, because I do want to show you a little bit of more flavor that are coming. You know, this is the map where you get the Dwarven Artillery level 4, which is kind of like a... I will actually go back to the towers after. And you see, you have these guys that are popping here, and you click them, and like, holy shit, I can pay to have one shot of the cannon, 2 shots of the cannon, and you can actually... Each of those maps, they kind of have different tricks. Like, for example, here, I can actually hire a Corsair or of this Buccaneer, and they are actually only map related, or of this map. And that's great because each map is something new. And I just looked and I found another reference. Check this out. It's Wilson. Nothing happens if I click it, but he's there. Look, some blueprints here. He was trying to build something. Sometimes every time I'm starting on a new map, I'm trying to click everything. And also, I don't want to spoil you, but on a lot of maps, other stuff happen that are triggered by something. So on this map, something happens on this map, and you will be like, "Holy shit! This changes everything." There was one more map that was pretty cool. This one, I think I was on this map just before. So it's not this map. Yep, it's not this map. Okay, the next one. There is one more flavor that I found, and this one. Well, I didn't found it, but it's pretty obvious. You see those guys? Those are like the Star Wars guys, and those guys actually shoot the enemy occasionally. And that's cool because, you know, it's more flavor to the actual maps, and it makes you wonder what am I going to encounter later, and you want to play this. So let's actually look at the towers. You know, the archery tower, every tower comes in 3 upgrades, but the 4th upgrade is actually of 2 choices. And I don't have this unlocked, but this is the first choice, and the second choice is, maybe I'm confusing it with another Kingdom Rush game, but I remember being like some kind of dwarf with a super long range. Maybe in one of the Kingdom Rush games there was a tower like that. This is like the, you know, Assassin's Guild. But in one of the Kingdom Rush, there were some kind of barbarians as another choice, and they have different abilities. You see, even those fourth upgrade, you choose one of those 2 towers, and then the towers themselves can be even more upgraded. Like, for example, you can train the assassins to pickpocket, and they will get more money, or a sneak attack, where they do a special kind of attack every X seconds. This is the Archmage Tower, which you can make him, I'm not sure, maybe it's critical mass, or it looks, but one of those towers actually has a teleporter which takes a group of enemies and teleport them a little bit back. And this is like a slow type of tower that is basically slowing the enemies that are passing through them. So there are really a lot of customizations in this game, and it's actually really great. Great graphics, amazing level design, and as I've said, you actually can do a lot of stuff. You know, besides the campaign, you have the heroic, you have the iron mode, you have various achievements, and you can actually play this game for a long time. One ugly. Find all the 3 alien hunters. Like, what the hell? I mean, those are stuff that are related to the maps themselves. Where are those alien hunters? Defeat 10 climbing enemies. What the hell? Kill 100 tribal zombies. What the hell also? I mean, even I don't know about this. And I kind of was at the end. I mean, it was on the iPad, and my iPad it's an iPad 2, and it's kind of slow, so I don't play that much games on it anymore. So anyway, this was like a first look, a review, or whatever you want to call it, for Kingdom Rush Frontiers Steam Edition. Get it, it's available now. I will put a link in the description. And yeah, it's an amazing tower defense game. And even if you don't like tower defense, I personally don't like tower defense that much, because as I've said, there are games where you just sit and do nothing. One problem that this game also has, and it's common to other tower defense games, but it's not like some people actually like it. On one map you may put the towers on how you think it will happen, but then at the end of the waves something happens and you didn't knew that will happen, and then that kind of messed up everything, and you will need to start over again, taking that thing that you didn't know into consideration, and you have to basically play the map again, and maybe then again, until you find the perfect solution. That until you get that perfect solution, you might actually try various things, and a level like this can actually be for like 5 minutes or something like that. And when you actually play the whole level, it's not, you don't feel like, oh my god, this is long and boring. But when you might still do tries and tries and tries again, especially at the later levels, you might find a little burnout, but that's subjective because some people actually enjoy that thing a lot. They actually like to look for solutions, and they like to play games like this, while others will be like, I don't want to try this again. But at the same time, you might be like, hey, let's try some one more, and then this time I will put on Mage Tower here. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this. I hope you enjoyed my video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a dislike, but please tell me why. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this. See you soon. Goodbye.